telling her, come right on over here. This is where the good life is. Where there's no men over here. This is for strong, independent, and single women only. We've all heard the saying that real queens fix each other's crown. But how true is that really? Black sisterhood teaches us to empower each other as Black women, to uplift each other as Black women, to support each other as Black women. But it also teaches us that we should fix each other's crowns as Black women. There's a lot of definitions that can come with fixing another queen's crown. But I'm going to focus on when you see a Black woman doing wrong and you are a Black woman. You should hold that Black woman accountable. You should fix that Black woman's crown. If you see that it's crooked, you see that it's wrong, you shouldn't let that Black woman walk around with the crooked crown. You should go up to her, let her know what she's doing wrong so that that crown can be fixed. I say all this because Tia Mowry divorced her husband, Corey Hardrick, and she went on national TV last week and had this to say about her marriage ending and about her divorce.
It's about self-love. And when you start to really work on yourself, love yourself, know your value, know your worth, and then all of a sudden there's this awakening. Wow. And it's not easy. It's a hard journey. But at the end of the day, I feel like it is so worth it. So he sent this beautiful letter to me from a woman who got a divorce. And it's all about, this perspective, in my opinion, and just changing the narrative. My marriage was a success. Yeah. I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation, there's a celebration. Mm-hmm. So that's basically, how I'm looking at it now. And I feel like people when they look at marriage, that success equals longevity. But no, at the end of the day, it's, are they happy? Are they thriving? Are they growing? And I feel like that is what is most important. It's not about staying in something because however long you are in that situation, that equals success. It's about really, again, are you happy? Because life is really short.
First and foremost, the longevity of marriage is what makes marriage a success. That's what people strive for. Nobody wants to get married and get a divorce. When you're walking down the aisle with somebody, you're hoping that you're with that person for the long haul until death do you part, which is what you say in your vows. That's why people celebrate every milestone of marriage when they reach 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20. They celebrate those milestone years because that is years that they are still together, because there are so many people out there who are not making it to their milestone. Success comes with how long you are able to stay with that person. Now, when she says that she has gone through an awakening period, usually someone comes through an awakening period when something traumatic has happened in their lives. Either they lost a loved one, either they themselves have gone through something traumatic. Something huge happened when people start using the word awakening. And she did say that there were 2 deaths in the family. And then all of a sudden she woke up. She'd been asleep. And it was because of those 2 deaths that she realized that life is short. And so it was time for her to reevaluate her life. And what that basically means is she was tired of being married. Not only was she tired of being married, she was tired of being married to him. She started dating him when she was 22 years old, which means she really had not experienced the single life. She'd been with him for 8 years and then they got married. So she had no time within that time span to really be by herself, to do things the way she wanted to do things. She had been in a relationship and she had been married. So when she awakened, she realized that, oh, I missed something. Oh, I missed that part of my life, that single life. I didn't experience that. I want to experience what that feels like. And that's really why there's some black women that are co-signing on that. Because then she'll be another strong, independent woman with no man living the single life. Which is the tale that continues to pass around the black community as the way that a lot of black women feel like it's the life to live. They're not pushing marriage anymore a lot of times in the black community for you to get married, for you to be with somebody for the long haul. No. The narrative that's most of the time being pushed around now in the black community when it comes to black women is that you need to be by yourself, or you don't have to be accountable to men. You don't have to be accountable to a man. You can do what you want to do when you want to do it, and you don't have to worry about someone telling you what to do. That's what she wants. And you have those black women out there who are co-signing on it while she skips across that strong independent line on over to the other side with her crown crooked. They're seeing her and clapping, telling her, come right on over here. This is where the good life is. Where there's no men over here. This is for strong, independent, and single women only. You have graduated to the strong and independent single life. That's what she graduated to. Singlehood. That's where she wanted to be. Where she didn't have to be accountable for her behavior. She didn't want her husband holding her accountable for her behavior. And when she compares marriage to a curriculum, that I don't even see how she can even make that analogy. It is not a graduation from anything. Because there's one party in there that's still sitting, I guess, at school. He's still at school. She's graduated and he's still at school. If it would have been her husband who would have said what she said, black women would have dragged him all through Twitter and back. He wouldn't have been able to stand up after they got finished dragging him through. But since there's no black man doing the deed this time, it's the black woman. It's funny now with this day and age with social media and just so much going on that anybody can say something and people think it's the gospel. We don't even try to analyze it anymore. We don't even try to see if what they're saying even really makes sense. And a lot of black women who are thinking this is a good idea, most of them probably not even in a marriage. They're not married. Because if they was married, they would look at it in a totally different situation, a totally different light. When you're with somebody and you're married to somebody, you know all that it takes to be married and how it will feel when you're no longer married. There's no success in that. When your marriage doesn't last, it is a failure. You failed. Because a marriage is supposed to be long lasting. And if anybody tells you different, they're lying, and either they haven't been married before or they didn't take their marriage seriously to begin with. As black women, not only do we have to empower each other, support each other, uplift each other, but we also have to not be afraid to hold each other accountable. We also cannot be afraid to call another black woman out when we feel like that what she's doing or what she's saying is just wrong. It's just wrong. It's not like we're trying to be petty. It's not like you're trying to be nasty. You're not trying to be snarky. You're not trying to talk down on her. And I think that's a lot of times with black women, we don't like people to tell us that we're wrong, because that brings up a lot of insecurities in us. That makes us feel like you know, you're against us, you're not for us. And it's just like, just because I'm telling you that something that you're doing is wrong doesn't mean that I see you as any less of a person. I'm just trying to help you grow. I'm trying to help you develop. I'm trying to help you evolve. And I think that's what we need to start doing as Black women. We need to start helping each other in different capacities in our life, and whatever else is going on within the community. And the way that we can do that is to really make sure that we hold ourselves to the same standards as we hold our Black men. And if that means calling a woman out in the process out of love, and calling her out to really shine light onto a situation, and not doing it in a way where we're trying to talk down to her or trying to make her feel some sort of way, but really hold her accountable. And when you hold somebody accountable, it doesn't feel good. No, it doesn't feel good for somebody, sometimes, for you to be held accountable for it. You're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel some sort of way. And those are normal feelings to feel that way, because deep down inside, you know you're doing wrong. And deep down inside, you want somebody to tell you that you're doing wrong, so that you can correct it, and that you make sure that you can move forward and you can evolve into the person that you ultimately want to be. All right, you all. That is my opinion. I am Michele Mazelleغ. Thank you all for watching. Make sure that you like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.